Welcome everybody to the Jacks for GT channel. We're going to talk about qualifying today. So right here I posted a 137.860. Not really impressed with that time, but this was our starting point for us. We're going to show you how to shave a whole lot of seconds off that time by using this double ghost method that I found was tremendously successful. And we're going to click on the top 10 stars. We got Robin Uhlemeyer here in the WRX with a 131.383. So we're going to load his ghost and we're going to show you how to use this method to improve your online qualifying times. Let's go. Alright, so as we approach the starting line, now we have Robin's ghost out in front of us. So this method is nothing new. This has definitely been with Gran Turismo for a while. A pretty good, I would say, function or tool to use to help yourself improve your lap times, lap in and lap out. So what we want to do is we want to try to stay as close to Robin's car as we can using what I'm getting ready to show you here. This is one of the functions that we're going to pay attention to, is that sector time. That was sector 1. So I'll touch on that here in a little bit, but we want to pay attention to how he takes the corners. I go a little bit narrow there instead of going wide like he did. But this is my first run at it, so I'm not too concerned there. So try to take these S's, try to get as narrow on the apex here. I didn't get as narrow as I would have liked. Got on the accelerator a bit too fast, hit the wall. Continued on with the same lap though, still at the 137, and was able to beat that time that I previously had. So now we have a new time of 137.127 and also the ghost from the previous lap. So this is all about now trying to outpace your ghost from the previous lap and still continuing to keep Robin's world leading time in view. So we're going to fast forward here. You see I went wide there. We're going to retrace this lap right here, all right, following behind Robin, and we're outpacing our ghost. So let's see how we do here. Now this turn, you know, I found it to be, because Robin uses the handbrake right there, and he uses it very well on that turn. I've seen a lot of other guys use it as well during the online races. You know, so it's definitely the fastest way through there. It's kind of hard to use on the wheel by hitting the circle button while you're turning, you know, so some contestants may have an actual handbrake apparatus attached to their wheel that allows them to drift that turn there. So if you don't have it, you may not be able to do that or pull that maneuver off as easily as they do. But nevertheless, you still want to continue with the strategy of keeping close as possible to Robin. So like I said, by doing that, you will be pushing yourself beyond the normal limits of what you feel comfortable racing. And what I mean by that is you'll find that you'll just be trying to outpace, accelerate, improve times, improve braking, get corners right in order to stay close to Robin. As you see here, we're coming back up on our starting line, and bam, we just shaved almost 3 seconds off using that strategy. So now we take a break. We're beating our friends, got some bragging rights up here, 134.860, and we're gonna hop back in and continue the qualifier. And within that short amount of time, we have a new world leader, which beat out Robin Uhlemeyer. So now we have another ghost as well as our own that we are patterning ourselves behind. So I go wide there. My ghost previously went narrow, but by going wide this particular time, I'm able to close the gap, as you see here. Coming up on our first sector time for this lap, 35.862. We want to make note of that because you want to be able to, whenever you complete a sector, kind of know where you're at in terms of if you're going to beat your lap time, if you're not going to beat your lap time, how far off you are or far ahead you are. You know, that's what's good about the sector times. So we'll break down and analyze that here momentarily. So we're behind our Ghost, and right there the Ghost goes a little bit wide. We get on the apex in the racing line and accelerate extremely fast through there. So we were behind our Ghost pretty much for the whole lap, but now we have an opportunity to improve our time again. If we can nail this corner, we get it in third. We check back on our Ghost to see what they are. They're behind by about 1/3 of a second, and here we go again. So now we shave some more time off, and this is just a process. You continually shave off 1/10 of a second. Sometimes you'll get really good and you'll shave off a whole second or two, but this is the process, and you find yourself, look at us now, we're all over the world leading time. I mean, you know, we go narrow there, we kind of messed that up, but nevertheless we're still outpacing our Ghost. If you can see right here, we look back, but also by the radar. So coming up on our first sector here, let's see how we do. 35.7 so best sector 1 time since we've been qualifying. If you see up here, we're actually on our 7th lap. So that we're, you know, with a little bit of practice, you can tell we're getting faster. We're getting a feel for the track. And something to make note of that I kind of had forgotten about it during qualifying. I mean, your tires, there's no tire wear. So you know how when you're racing online, daily races, it'll take a couple laps for your tires to warm up. I tend to not really remember that during qualifying. There's no tire wear. You start out with optimal tires, and just try to keep that in mind as well as when you're qualifying, that if you didn't already know that, which I'm sure most of us did except for me. So but yeah, coming up on another lap here, we're outpacing our Ghost. Shave off 4/10 of a second. So this strategy works. And let's go ahead and take a look here at some metrics. So if you see it there, in the 7th lap, sector 1 and sector 2 were our best laps or best sectors since we were qualifying. Back in lap 5, we had a good sector 3, but our overall time there, the best time for lap 7 is shown here as 134.392. You also can see your best time, your average time, and your worst time. So try to use this screen to let you know which sectors you're just not doing too well on and which ones you are during your qualifier. So we've hopped back in. We're feeling good about ourselves. We've got probably about 10 laps under our belt by now, so I think we can improve on that 134.392. So we're going to give it a few more tries and see what we can do to improve our time. So coming up on the first sector here, we are outpacing our Ghost. That's what we like to see. And we're going to cross the sector 1 time with a 35.952. So for this series of qualifiers, that's the best sector 1 time, so not too bad. We come in, I think we hit the apex just right there. The Ghost was trying to pressure us, but no worries. We get on the apex here, avoid the penalty marker there, hug this extremely close, downshift to second, hug the apex, accelerate. This one's looking good. So one of the things that I meant to say a little earlier in the video is that whenever I was qualifying, one of the things that I try to keep in mind is that even when you're behind your Ghost, you will find opportunities throughout the race that you will catch up, as we are extremely fast on this lap here. Let's see how we do this. 134.064. So wow, 0.4 of a second gone. But like I said, so, and now we're all over D Jefe here. So, you know, don't get discouraged when you're qualifying, you know, if you're behind your ghost, because you'll always find there's an opportunity to catch up somewhere during the lap. So we fast forward here, we're outpacing our ghost, you see there in the radar. So let's see what we can do here to possibly even get under the 134.064 that we've posted so far. So looking good through these series of S's. We're gonna hang it wide, hit the border, try to come in at third, hug the apex, hold, accelerate. I tend to accelerate once I see the borders on the other side of the track. That's what I like to do. I think that's a fast way through there. And wow, 133.836. So we are just crushing that 137 that we started out the qualifying time, you know, when we first started actually this video. So like I said, I hope that this is a strategy that can catch on, because I found that it was extremely valuable for me to be able to just see what the leaders in terms of the actual times, as we put up a very nice 35.2 there, what the leaders in track times were doing and how I could improve my own time. And having that additional ghost, which is the actual ghost that you raced the lap prior to, or the best lap that you posted, I cannot tell you how invaluable that is, because it's very hard to catch, you know, Ullmeyer up there, because he came back and he actually took over the world time. So it's extremely competitive, and you know, it's very difficult to catch Ullmeyer, but you can beat yourself in a matter of speaking. So have that second ghost, try it out, continue to use it, don't get discouraged, as we are coming up again on another great lap. So let's go ahead and continue. I think we can keep the momentum going. I think we can do it. What do y'all think? Because I think we can get close to Ullmeyer's time. Maybe a second, maybe a second and a half, maybe less. We're really, you see it here, we're all over him. And even with him being faster, just as I said with our own ghost, there are still opportunities to even catch him in some of the turns. So, you know, the same strategy applies to Ullmeyer as we look at our sector 2 time, or 6 to 1 time there, 35.2. That's what we like to see. And let's see if we can catch him here going into the turn. And I did make a switch. So if you see it there in the ghost, I'm in the actual WRX this time. And this is the first lap. I was racing in the Nissan GTR, but I saw what all the guys were using online, so plus Ullmeyer, so I said, let me try this WRX out. And this is the first lap that I'm racing with this car, and you can see I am just destroying this track. I mean, I won't say destroying, that might be a bit much, but I am all over the track, putting, you know, hitting the apexes, accelerating, braking. Let's see how we handle this. Come in, close the gap between the apex, and then accelerate straight to the finish. So let's see what this time looks like. Wow, 132.938. Thanks for watching all. Let me know how you like this strategy. Hopefully it helps. Hopefully it works for you. I really appreciate all the commentary in the comments and the likes and the subscriptions. Check us out. We're putting out videos every week. We love to hear from you, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks again. Signing off, Jax for GT.